And the reason we started early, we're a young group. We have a big freshman class, and the key to getting them started, to be very honest with you, is to get them some confidence as they transition from high school to college. Their performances coming out of high school were big enough that a lot of the Division I schools, BCS schools, recruited them and offered them scholarships. But even though they're that good, they still have to transition to the collegiate level. So the whole goal is to get them started, get them some confidence before they go home for Christmas, and then they wouldn't let the fall, all that hard work we've put in the fall, go to waste by becoming couch potatoes. If they start fast and they run fast, they'll be more driven and more motivated to train in the 14 days they'll be away from us before we get back to start the indoor season in January. Just to start to think about look at the women right now. We're looking for people like Devin Charlton and Kamisha Cox and Savannah Carson, Taylor Dunlap, Michaela Earnhardt. Of course, in terms just to name a few, on the women's side coming in, we're looking for them to perform, to really step up the game in their respective events. Kamisha and Devin being, the Carifta Junior champions and runner-up in the 100 meters and runners-up in the 200 meters, and also a medalist in the 100 hurdles. And then Savannah Carson, who is right now evolving or developing into one heck of a sprinter jumper combination, and that's exciting. Of course, but that would be, they would be led by Danny Bunch, who earned her first outright All-American last year in the shot put at the national championship. So, we got people like the likes of Vanessa McLeod. We have people like Sienna Tabbs and Brianna Smith and Kerry Showbraid, and just to name a few in the 800s. And Vanessa being the Big Ten 800 indoor champion as a freshman and the runner-up outdoors. We have a real solid group. But when they're that young, when your numbers in terms of youth, surpass your veterans, you got to get them started early to get them the confidence that they need to compete in Division I and at the Division I level and at the Big Ten level. And we have kids right now, to be honest with you, are running PRs in practice in an interval, and that's exciting. So I think it's adaptation and just buying in. Anytime you go into something new, anybody's going to be somewhat skeptical. Anybody's going to be, I'm not sure if this really works, especially if you've been in a system that has worked in another way for so long, and now here comes something new. But I think after the performances that we've had, the individual performances that we had last year, I think the returners of all bought in. They're all on one accord, and they're ready to exceed the expectations. As I told them, one of our mantras that we're using this year is that it's time to produce. It's time to be productive. And I believe that they believe that. They believe that the work they've done this fall in all the event areas will be effective, and they're really chomping at the bit right now to get into competition. So that too is, back to your earlier question, is one of the reasons we need to jumpstart and get going versus sending them home and then coming back and having to reignite them again. I think if we can get them started now, I think we'll be more effective, throughout the season. The goal for the whole weekend, for this whole weekend, is really to get started fast, to get going, and be able to hold that momentum through March, and then again, reaffirm that foundation of training and then take that all the way to June. So that's the entire objective of this weekend start for us.